me know all is good. Holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy.
Good morning, and welcome to Universal Spirit Center. I'm Kevin Busey, and I welcome you this morning. I welcome you to a divine experience. So breathe right into your heart. Just let your heart open here this morning. We come to you through Facebook, through YouTube, or through live stream on our website, and we're so glad that you're with us this morning. A special welcome and shout out to any of you who join us this morning for the first time. We're so glad that you're with us. We're so glad that you're with us. So if you are new with us, go to our website, click on Contact Us, fill out a little contact form, and we can let you know of the many various activities and events we have going on at our center. So now let's welcome up our music director, Gino.
I see joy, I see peace, I see the goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. Good morning, Universal Spirit Center. From my heart to yours, I'm sending you, there it is, a big virtual hug. Yes, I got you all. Thank you for being here this morning. I choose happiness. I choose freedom. I choose the beauty that lives in me. I choose perfection in what life brings. I choose God in everything. I know happiness. I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know that God is in everything. I know God's in everything. I know God's in everything. Namaste, 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 namaste. Namaste.
Whoops. Hey, there I am. That was Gino and Linda. Thank you, Gino and Linda. How much coffee has Gino had this morning? That is the question. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to Universal Spirit Center. I'm Kevin Busey. I have the great joy of being the spiritual community leader of our center. and I welcome you here this morning. So I have a couple brief announcements. I want to tell you a few things going on at our center. This Wednesday, I'm beginning the presence process. So if you're interested in that experience, 10-week experience where we explore our feelings, go ahead and email me, and I'll let you know more about the class. You can email me at revkevin@universalspiritcenter.org. revkevin@universalspiritcenter.org. We had an orientation last week, so if you want to jump in, I'll fill you in on the course. So there's that. Also, normally on Martin Luther King Day, we join other faith communities and we clean up Balboa Park. However, we won't be meeting in person this year. So instead, there's an interfaith community event tomorrow, January 18th at 10 a.m. You can go to our website under events, click under events, and that will give you a link to participate in this day of interfaith community. So we invite all of you to join people of faith from all over San Diego in this meeting tomorrow morning in celebration of Martin Luther King. Also, I want you to know that our own Universal Spirit Center's own racial equality project is realizing that a lot of us are struggling during these times with so much that's going on. So what we're going to do is put together a safe, loving, Zoom community room experience where we could get together and we could connect and we could pray and we could just talk about how we're feeling through all these events. So we haven't established the date yet, but I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up that that's coming, and it'll just be an opportunity for us to come and have dialogue about what's going on for us. Also, I want to mention that Sherry Ganan has created a class that she's offering to you, so she's going to tell you a little bit about that. Sherry.
Hi, all you spiritual sojourners out there. I'm Sherry Ganand, one of Universal Spirit Center's prayer practitioners and ministerial student. Have you ever wondered what your higher purpose is? Or maybe felt that you got in the way of your own expression, your own essential self, and being your highest self? Well, in the 3 evenings that we'll spend together in this class, you'll have tools to help you unpack that and get past the thoughts and the feelings that maybe are limiting you or blocking you from realizing that fullest potential. You'll be able to vision and claim and, yes, celebrate what spiritual gifts you have to bring to the world. And the great thing is, the only thing you need for this course is an open heart and a journal. So I'll see you on Zoom.
Purpose. That sounds really awesome. And we're getting ready this Wednesday for our second kitchen conversations of the new year. Looking forward, I have some guests that are coming in from Tennessee, and I'm looking forward to sharing this opportunity of going deeper and also exploring all the wonderful things that people are doing to move us forward in our equality. So I'm excited to share that with you. And the movie of the month, True Justice. Really a great opportunity to see a man that is living his life purpose. If you go to our webpage and click on events, there's a link there for you for True Justice to see the movie so that you can join us January the 29th on our Zoom community room as we unpack it. How awesome is that? So looking forward to seeing you there. And we have a guest artist today all the way from Hawaii, and I think she wants to say hello to you. Faith, say hello.
Aloha Universal Spirit Center. It's Faith Rivera, and I'm sending big love here from Hawaii. It is always my joy to be with you, and I am knowing that 2021 is your best year yet from the inside out. Yay, aloha.
Oh, aloha. Oh, good morning, Universal Spirit Center community. My name is Darmini, and I'm one of the many licensed prayer practitioners here. And we have so many wonderful announcements, and I have one more for you, that today after the gathering, if you would like to receive brief prayer, you can go over to the Universal Spirit Center website and click on the prayer room, and you can have a private 5-minute prayer time with one of our licensed prayer practitioners. Please take advantage of this opportunity for us to support you. We love to have everybody feel supported. And now I'm going to lead us in our time of prayer and meditation. We're going to have a reading and then some silence and some meditation, and then I'll bring us out with a prayer. So I invite you to gently close your eyelids and to bring your hand to your heart and bring your awareness to your heart. And simply allow your hand to receive your heartbeat. Our reading this morning comes from Eckhart Tolle. He says, "How to be at peace now? By making peace with the present moment. The present moment is the field on which the game of life happens." Peace. 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 Peace is that exquisite, wonderful inner experience that is always happening everywhere, throughout all time and throughout all space. It is the very presence of God. It is what is available when we simply cease fighting, when we simply cease struggling. It is ever present. It is joyful. It is all fulfilling. It is all powerful. It is everywhere. And it's right here at the very center of me and my being, permeating every part of me, It's the very center and the source of Universal Spirit Center. It's the very center of every being, the exquisite, perfect essence of every single one who's watching, who's participating in this gathering, either right now or in the future. It is the very truth of every part of every individual who is coming together to support this experience and happening. It is speaking through Reverend Kevin. It is singing through Chino and through Linda and through Faith. And it is so beautifully handling everything through Corey and through Sarah, through all of the hands that are coming together to make this experience possible. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to simply bear witness to how peace already is, that there's nothing for us to do, there's nothing for us to create, there's nothing for us to make happen. It's simply the allowing, it's simply the opening, it's simply the creating the space within by letting go of the struggle, letting go of the judgment, letting go of the wrong making, and simply diving into the open heart of God. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for this morning. I give thanks for this breath. I give thanks for everyone who is hearing these words. I give thanks for the very presence of God that is happening right now. And I surrender this prayer over to the universal law, back into the universal heart and the universal soul of the universe. And we let it be, and so it is.
Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for good. Together we break the chains of sorrow. Together we live the truth. Together we raise our voice for peace. Together we sing and jump for joy. Oh, together we move, oh, we grow. We free our lights. We free the truth. And the future's bright. Together we take a stand for love, for love. Together we make a change for good. Ooh, together we break the chains of sorrow. Ooh, together we live the truth. Oh yes, 'cause in every part of me there's a part of you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright, alright. And when I'm loving me, I'm loving you. Oh yeah, alright. Today we live the truth and the future's bright. Oh, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, the future's bright. Oh, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, the future's bright. Oh, thank you.
Faith Rivera. Thank you, Faith. It's always so good to see you. Thank you. What an appropriate song together, right? With where we find ourselves in the world today, and especially the day before Martin Luther King Day. So I want to welcome all of you who've just joined us. I'm Kevin Busey, and I'm glad that you're with us this morning. So I want to read again this reading that Darmini read from Eckhart Tolle. How to be at peace now? By making peace with the present moment. The present moment is the field on which the game of life happens. So maybe the question for us today, are we feeling peaceful? Or are we feeling the violence that we're seeing across our nation? Are we feeling peaceful? Or are we feeling the racism that we're experiencing so much in the nation? Are we feeling peaceful? Or are we feeling the fear of a disease that's running across our world? I invite you to check out A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, because he really, in this book, which is what we're talking about this month, really lays out a blueprint of how to move from whatever drama or whatever life situation that's happening into an experience of peace. So as Gino talked about at the beginning of the month, and I've talked about the last couple of weeks, Eckhart Tolle talks a little bit about talking about this idea or this construct of ego. And ego isn't particularly bad, as Gino had said at the beginning of the month, but it gets dangerous if ego's running our lives. That's when it becomes a problem, as if ego is running our lives. Because ego is concentrating on the past, on what has happened, or on the future, what's going to happen. When we're in ego, we're missing the present moment. We're missing now, because in the present moment, there's no ego. Ego's stirring around about the past or the future, the regret of the past or the anxiety of the future. That's where ego thrives. So that's a powerful force in us. I also talked last week about pain body. I don't know if Eckhart Tolle termed coined that term, or someone else did, but pain body is an accumulated pain within us that we felt from infancy. As young kids, we didn't know how to deal with the pain, so we just kind of stuffed it. So the idea is that pain body gets triggered or activated and then we feel hurt, or we feel rage, or we feel separation or isolation, or whatever the particular story is we've clung on to that moment. So this idea of ego and pain body are really powerful forces in us. And there's a collective ego, and there's a collective pain body that happens in it can happen in families or neighborhoods. It can happen in churches or places of business. It can happen in countries. It's pretty clear to me that we're going through these days an uprising of ego. Who's right? Who's wrong? Blaming, judging. It's me first, it's about me, or it's reaction to people being that way. We're caught up in a pretty reactive ego on a collective level right now. We're also experiencing pain body pretty significantly too, through the experience of having to look at our own racism, through the experience of the violence that we're seeing, through the experience of the fear of the pandemic. So we've got both of these collective entities that I think are running rampant in our nation right now. So check this out. If that's true, if there's an element of that that's true, when we're in distress, psychologically, emotionally, mentally in distress, it shows up on our body. So what if the pandemic is simply a system in our collective body that our ego is out of control and that our pain body cannot be satisfied? And then what have we got? The experience within our body, our collective body, of the pandemic. So Eckhart Tolle, in some of the sections of this book, asks us the question, who are we? And it's not meant to be a philosophical kind of discussion or idea, but it's kind of like, how do we experience ourselves? Do we experience ourselves as peaceful? Do we experience ourselves in the throes of a uncontrolled ego? Do we experience ourselves in a reactive pain body? Do we experience ourselves as disease or sickness or suffering? So he makes a point that when you and I can witness ego, can witness pain body, can witness disease, there's something that witnesses that. There's something beyond that. In addition, Eckhart Tolle talks about, how we experience ourselves in terms of the roles, the many roles that we have. So we experience ourselves either as male, as female, maybe as an astrological sign, as a spouse or a lover, as a child, as a parent. There are many various roles that we play in the world, right? Well, that's one way to define ourselves. That's one way to experience ourselves. Our spirituality tells us that we are greater than the reactions to our life conditions, than the roles that we play. Get quiet this afternoon. Get still. If you get still enough, you'll hear your soul whisper to you that you are greater. You are more grand than any of your life situations, than any of the roles that you play in your life. You're greater than all of this. In the new earth, Eckhart Tolle talks about the experience of nature. And I think it's true for most of us, that when we're in nature, we feel a peacefulness or a centeredness. We feel maybe a beauty, experience of beauty. Maybe we experience a coming home to ourselves. And it's interesting because Eckhart Tolle makes a differentiation between landscape beauties like what we find in our parks or in our neighborhoods, in our yards. Because often I've walked around the neighborhood and I've looked around yards and I've thought, oh, that's a beautiful yard. You know, there's nice balance, there's nice organization, there's a nice coming together of the various colors. You know, that's true in our yard. We hired a landscaper and then he made everything aesthetically pleasing. So you could look on that and say, oh, that's a beautiful yard. It's got a nice organization, nice colors, right? And that's one way to experience landscape. But Eckhart Tolle talks about, what about when we're in the middle of the forest? There's no apparent order or balance there. It's apparent random. It's apparent chaos, right? No one's planned that a tree or a plant or a bush or a river or a lake would be in a certain place. It just evolved that way. And Eckhart Tolle says our experience of beauty in that type of wilderness isn't necessarily the order of it or the balance, but we intuit the beauty through an inner stillness, which is much more powerful than using our mind. That really, he's saying, there's two ways to experience reality. Through our mind with labels and organization and order, or through our bodies, a sense of stillness, a sense of calm. That there are two ways that you and I can gain information. The other morning, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday morning, I woke up, and immediately as I wake up, I am bombarded with negative thoughts. I'm bombarded immediately with what's wrong, or what I've done wrong, or what I'm doing wrong. It was really just kind of like overwhelming, and I was caught up in guilt and in dread, and all this stuff's happening. I hadn't even gotten out of bed yet, right? And I'm thinking, what's going on? Because I don't normally wake up that way. But I was overwhelmed with the negativity that was happening within me in that moment. And then I started to realize, wow, that night I had not nightmares, but I had some pretty disturbing dreams. And I was disturbed by the dreams. And then I'm realizing, prior to going to bed that night, the last thing that I had done was I'd watched the news. That's what had happened. And I remember thinking back, I felt deeply disturbed when I was going to bed because of what I had seen on the news. So I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking, I tapped into the collective reactionary ego. I had tapped into the pain body that we're experiencing now as a nation. And I slept with it, and I have to tell you, I woke up in a state. So I got my cup of coffee. This is my every morning routine. Got my cup of coffee, pulled out my spiritual reading, started reading. And I started reading Eckhart Tolle, and I had just picked up where he says, the mind is one way of knowing. Things are good or things are bad. We judge them. We label them. That is certainly one way to live reality. We have concepts, we have ideas, we have a way that things should happen, right? We have blame. Some people live their whole lives on that realm. But he says that's one way to live our life. But then he says there's a higher realm. And the higher realm, it's unity and it's wholeness and it's divinity. And it's about flow. It's about an unfolding. And I'm feeling that at that moment. And then I'm like, wow, the synchronicity of all of this. I had not been awake for 10 minutes. And I felt like I was caught up in the synchronicity of the universe. That I had tapped into the collective ego and pain body that's so much in reaction these days. That it kind of slept with me through the night and disturbed my dreams. That I woke up in such negativity. And then I pull out this book. And I just happened to start reading in the very paragraph where what's going on inside of me is described. The reactive ego, the pain body, that right and wrong, that blame, and that judgment. And then I'm brought into the greater awareness that we say in religious science in every moment, in every place, divinity's unfolding. Thoreau said, if I saw clearly, I would see all things as they are, divine. That's the higher realm of processing, of being. So I'm sitting there after I reading some pages of Ernest Holmes. I'm sitting there, and I just have to tell you, my heart is blown open wide with gratitude because I'm realizing, not just at this moment, but when I pay attention, when I move beyond the reactionary ego or pain body, when I dwell in the higher realms of being, synchronicity is always happening at every moment. And my life is surrounded in that experience when I tap into it. It reminded me when I was, that morning when I was kind of experiencing this mini drama in my bed and then read Eckhart Tolle. Rumi puts this experience right into a poem. Many of you have heard this poem. Rumi, the 13th century Islamic mystic, says, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, out beyond ideas of who's right and who's wrong, there is a field. I will meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, when the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full of talk, ideas, language, even the phrase each other make no sense. I'm going to read that one more time. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other makes no sense. Clearly, Rumi wrote this poem, experienced this poem in that higher level of consciousness. Clearly, he had moved out of the experience of ego and of pain body. and of the effect that those two entities have on his own physical body. You and I are called to that place. Eckhart Tolle and other spiritual writers, other spiritual teachers say that when enough of us dwell in that place, in that wholeness, in that unity, in that divine unfolding, when enough of us dwell there, we will create change upon our planet. I think we're in our phase of our evolutionary process right now where it's no longer about me improving my life or me being saved or me feeling good about myself or me getting what I want. It's what faith talked about. There's a call upon our planet for us to come together in an awareness that we're all connected to each other. The world's no longer going to survive. Our planet's no longer survive if we're just talking about me first and what I need and what I want. Our planet, the universe, is calling forth a coming together to meet in that field of wholeness and that field of unity. So I want to challenge you to do the work necessary to make peace with the present moment, because this is the gateway, this is the doorway into that experience of unity and wholeness. It's to make peace with the present moment. And from that place, be a change agent upon our planet, where we support love and unity, not violence and racism. So I want to conclude with a quote by Eckhart Tolle. However, I might have edited one or two words. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. Go ahead and breathe right into your heart. And let these words speak to your heart. The rising of the present moment, a stillness unaffected by past or future, calls forth the rising of an encompassing presence that's more deeply who you are than any role you play. So taking a deep breath right into your heart. We feel into this present moment which calls forth the experience of presence. We call it forth from deep within ourselves. And let's together this morning become a vehicle of this presence, grace, and unity, and wholeness and love. Let's become channels. And let's open so wide to this infinite presence that dwells within us, that it just flows from us. And that's right now in this moment. Hold our new leaders in love. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, our senators, our congressmen and women, all who will be leading this new country. Let us know a divine blessing on them. This morning, here now, we know for them that they are safe, that they are divinely guided, that they see only unity and wholeness and healing for our planet. So we call forth beings of light, angels, saints, messiahs, Buddhas, sages from all centuries to support these men and women in the leadership of our country. So let's just feel this. Let's know it. Let's send to each of them a mighty blessing from an open, full heart. And as we breathe in, let's be clear about who we are. That you and I are channels of this grace. That we're vehicles of love. That we're instruments of peace. And know this together with me as we say together, and so it is.
Today is the day I will change my luck. I will find 3 pennies and they'll be hands up. I will walk like a queen in my tennies and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Today is the day I'll remember to see only God, only good happening through you and me. I will not forget all the treasures due me, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Today is the day I'll be more of myself, love my skin, where I've been, and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. I am loved, oh so loved, by this thing called life.
Faith Rivera, thank you very much. That was a beautiful song. So Universal Spirit Center is a place where we call ourselves and each other and our nation and the world to unity. Universal Spirit Center is a place where we call ourselves and each other and our nation and the world to healing. Universal Spirit Center is a place where we call ourselves and each other and our nation and the world to love. So if you feel that call, if you're inspired by this call, then we are an appropriate place for your gifts. Support Universal Spirit Center. I want to take a moment and thank all of you who are supporting us. Financially, we are in the black, which is a really good thing. The leadership of Universal Spirit Center is committed that when we can finally open our doors, that we will be in the black. And we're able to do this because of your generosity. So please continue your generosity to us. So let's place our hands over our heart. Take a moment and take a deep breath in. So what are you grateful for? What is something in your life that you so appreciate? And from this place of gratitude, support Universal Spirit Center, a place that calls forth the power of unity and healing and love. So we know a mighty blessing on ourselves, on our planet, on all beings everywhere. In our giving we receive, in our receiving we give. Know this with me as we say together, and so it is.
Holy, holy, all good, holy, holy, all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. All love, all love, all love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is love, holy, holy. All joy, all joy, all joy, holy, holy. All joy, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is joy, holy,
Chino, the coffee wore off. Linda Ely, thank you, Linda Ely. Darmini, our licensed prayer practitioner, thank you so much for that heartfelt prayer. Sherry Ganan, really appreciate you creating this class on life purpose. Thank you so much. Sarah and Corey behind the scenes making all this happen. Thank you. And thank you, Universal Spirit Center. Thank you for all of you who gathered here this morning. So let's come together in prayer. So we take a deep breath in, right into your heart, and call forth the one power, the one presence, this one life. This divinity that unfolds in, through, and as all of creation. So it's moving through each one of us here now as the experience of peace, wholeness, love, healing, joy. And we move this energy out, and it's moving through our nation. All our citizens, all who dwell within the United States, our leaders, and we send this blessing out to all beings on our planet right now. We know an experience of love and wholeness and peace and unity for all, everywhere. Join me in knowing this as together we say, and so it is. Blessings, be safe. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Your